Hey, it's Jeannie Blaha with Take a Walk with Your Angels and joyflames.com. I really wanted to touch on this because I have been feeling it so prevalently in the fields, the quantum fields, and also in my ear on a regular basis from those in spirit, along with angels and other guides who are saying that there's a heck of a lot of people feeling very hopeless right now and helpless, and also a lot of what I'm hearing, the sentence is, what's the use? Everything I do is not getting anywhere. It's not moving anything in any different direction. It still feels stuck. It still feels like I'm like drowning in things that aren't working out. And then maybe you're looking at, we're at the tail end of 2017 and you're thinking, I thought I'd be so much further ahead than I am today. And I didn't see this picture for myself coming into this year. And why am I feeling so blocked? Why do I feel stuck? You know, what is going on there? So first of all, a lot of people are waiting. They're feeling in that pattern of waiting right now to hear an answer, to hear a response, to hear of a job thing, a family matter, a particular dis-ease results or prognosis. And just something that the angels say regularly is that we are actually never really waiting. We're either clearing and or healing. So whenever we're in that waiting pattern, to just consider, oh, something else must need to go, I need to purge something else out of my life, it's time for more healing to happen so that I can continue on in this vein that I want to be in, the frequencies that I want to be remaining in. So I was asking Spirit about this because I've been hearing some very specific language being used regarding, I don't think I can stay here, I don't feel like I belong on this planet, I feel like the world is just kind of crashing and burning around me, and I don't really want to stay in all this meanness and harshness and cruelty. And so I'm asking those in spirit, and particularly the guides of some people that we've known that did take their lives out of form this year, regarding what would be their ideas or suggestions regarding this. Because often what happens for those that do take their life out of form, they come to that realization as soon as they leap out, when they exit, is, oh, if I just would have had a different perspective at the time, if I just had a different state at the time. So what they said to me was, instead of maybe being concrete about the thought of, I really don't feel like staying here and I feel more compelled to go, they said, consider that you may just, it may be more about not wanting to be in the state that you're in anymore, the frequency that you're in anymore. And so their suggestion is, if you just had a different perspective, you would see how much you matter. You would understand how much you can make a difference. So when I asked them about what does that look like to them, because they get the big picture here, they said, for an example, would be to take yourself out of that sense that you have to just put yourself away and keep home and don't talk to people and stay really retreated out of your purpose, because really we're all here offering service to each other in one form or another. They said, make sure that you just compel yourself, give yourself some kind of a sense of urgency even to reach out, to be available to serve in a way that maybe you didn't imagine, or you could never even, like you thought, how could I ever do this? And drop into your gifts. What are your special talents and gifts? Say that animals respond to you very well, and you are some days going, I just would rather be around animals because they're gentle and loving and compassionate and caring, and they just are in the present moment. Then consider looking into, say, a volunteer service at an animal rescue, because the dogs love to get walked and they are forever looking for volunteer dog walkers. And just in a half an hour of walking a dog, you might realize, whoa, I guess I do make a difference. Look at this dog. This dog would have been stuck in a kennel, or stuck, basically people in the animal fields call it jail, and not being able to see the light of day or be out in nature. And or if, say, the homeless population really affects you, really impacts you, your heart just feels like, what can I do? And I don't have the finances to do something about this. You don't have to have money to serve your purpose. You can do it without money. So consider going and serving meals, or going to a particular area where you know there are homeless people that you've seen on a regular basis. Maybe the same ones have approached. taking a protein bar, taking a piece of fruit, and just maybe even just offering your presence, a listening ear. Find out what he or she has been through to be on the street, what happened to lead to that. It's not always what people think. It's not necessarily a drug addiction. It doesn't have to be necessarily. You would be amazed at some of the people that I've spoken to on the street and their backgrounds, and you're thinking how, the amount of things that crossed their path to get to that situation when they were professors in universities before, they served in the military, they spent a lot of years across the seas in the military. They had full-time jobs and got laid off. They had their mortgage shifted in the price each month, and they couldn't afford it after a bit. So these little things are just being available to serve. And if you want something really simple to do each day when you're feeling like I have nothing to offer, as soon as you wake up in the morning, just say, I'm available to serve. I'm available to serve, however that looks today. Maybe you walk 3 blocks and you just keep your eyes open and your ears open and see what is out there in that present moment of that nowness for you that says, you matter and I would love it if you could help me this way, or if you could attend to me this way. You'd be surprised at the things that you notice where you're being called to serve. So just being more present with that. Do get out of your homes, do get out of your behind the technology, which is not necessarily connecting us so much and is giving us this impression that the world is coming apart and people are coming apart from each other. And see where it goes, because you might be very surprised just by deciding I'm going to change my state. I'm going to consider that my state just needs to be changed and my perspective. Taking a little different drive to work, going a different direction on your weekend, doing something that you've never done before. Those all change your perspective, and all of a sudden your eyes get new. If you've ever traveled anywhere outside of where you live today, you probably noticed, it's so weird, it's like I'm more in my present moment and I'm seeing things that I wouldn't have noticed it, and your eyes take on that new, almost like your child vision of the first time that you ever saw a Christmas tree, or the first time that you ever saw a kind of dog that you had always wanted, and etc., etc. So change your state. Offer your permission to yourself to change your state. It will change your perspective. And all of a sudden you'll realize how important you really are. You wouldn't have created yourself into this existence if you weren't meant to be here. And part of the celebration of being here is to come into that reconnaissance, that knowing of your purpose and where it's leading you, where it will lead you if you let it. Absolutely. All right. Love you lots. This is Jeannie of Blaha out of Colorado with Take a Walk with Your Angels on joyflames.com. If you feel this video could help somebody, please feel free to share. All right. Thank you.